Yay.
Awesome. Here we are. We're live. Good, happy Monday morning to everybody out in Facebook land. I'm Colleen, as most of you know, and I am the owner of Lead Up for Women. And I am joined this morning by Jorgie Franks Bell. And I'm super excited to have her here this morning as our Member Monday Spotlight. And we're going to be talking about the power of connecting and nurturing relationships for sales and business development. And, you know, most people think sales and business development, they're like, I hate it because I got to sell. But I look at it as an opportunity for us to be able to give to other people, to be able to make decisions on their own if they want to take advantage of it or not. And then nurturing relationships are important. So, Jorgie, please share your wisdom with us on why you are so passionate about sales, and tell us a little bit about you real quick.
Absolutely. I am passionate about sales. It really goes back to my youth. My father is a pastor, and he he kind of had me knocking on doors and telling people about Jesus from a very young age. And that's when I realized, wait, maybe that's cold calling, right? You have to be passionate about it and you have to evangelize. So I think that's where my passion came from. And then I had an innate gift of speaking and doing poetry. And the only honors class I ever had was public speaking. So, but so it really came to a point where I realized I had this gift of debate and forensics and that kind of persuasion. And it came from a pure place in life. And, you know, I never really thought that telling people about what I was passionate about was anything other than great. So yes. I just thought, you know, if you have a passion, if you believe in it, you need to share it with the world. Mm-hmm. And as I've developed over the years, I realize now that there's so many bad experiences that people have that having to teach people how to sell and how to make a difference and, you know, an impact and how to overcome obstacles and understanding that really business development and sales and building relationships and finding opportunities is an answer to someone else's problem. And we're supposed to be the answer in the world. So that's where I really want people to feel that and go after it.
I love the way that you make it so simple for us to understand that we're passionate about what we do and we're solving a problem. So the more that you talk to people about what you're passionate about, it's infectious, right? Mm-hmm. So they feel and see and hear your passion. And then again, they get to make the decision if they want to work with you or not. But if you don't offer them the opportunity to do that, you'll never know, right? It's like that person has the freedom to make the decision, but if we feel, oh my gosh, I couldn't possibly ask them to spend this amount of money to work with me or to join this program or whatever it may be, then the self-limiting all becomes part of what our issue is, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm going to say you're really good at connecting with other people and asking really great questions. I still remember when I first met you and we got on the call and we were both clear that we were getting to know each other. Mm-hmm. You know, Colleen, at that time, you weren't selling me anything. You said, please, you mentioned some obstacles you faced. And as being a new business owner, share with me about those. And I was like, I want this in my future, but these are my problems. I'm a salesperson. I'm in business development, but I've never owned a business. Like, what about finances? And what about, you know, operations and all the other pieces of being a business owner? And you were like, hey, I have a network. And we help each other. And let me tell you about Lead Up for Women and how it can help you with your problem. Mm-hmm. And not only could it help me with my problem, but there are so many great things in Lead Up for Women with the magazine and the podcast and just highlighting women. Mm-hmm. I was like, where do I sign up?
Oh, wait. There you go. You're on mute. You came back. You came back. You were on mute there.
Okay. What she did there was she listened. And so I really think that listening is part of building relationships. I'm starting to network, in different avenues now, and people will just pitch. They get my time, which I feel is very valuable. Okay.
Mhm.
And then they just talk.
They
You,
word vomit. That's what I call it.
it is taxing to be passionate about something and focus more on your passion than listening to how you can help people. So we
Yeah.
have to listen with a different attitude.
Mm. I love that. So, tip number one, I think, for today is ask questions, right? Ask questions to get to know the other person. Your intention should be to get to know the other person. How do we get to know somebody? We ask them questions
Yes.
and let them answer. And then while they're answering, this is sales that I learned and taught way back in the day in corporate. And I was teaching, staff of 16, 17, 18-year-olds to sell, quote unquote. And they were super nervous to sell because they would say, well, I don't think that parent, I can't afford it, so that parent can't afford it. So
Right.
we don't ever want to make assumptions. I love what you said, Jorgie, when you said it's really about giving the opportunity to the other person and solving a problem that they have. How do you know what problem they're facing if you don't listen and ask questions to get to know what's going on in their world? Then once you do, you can align what you do to be able to help solve that. And if you can't, that's the beautiful part. There's no pressure. And you just say, you know what, I know somebody that I want to connect you with that I think could be a huge resource for you. And then
Right.
you connect that person to another person, and they're forever thankful that you connected them. And you guys can continue nurturing your relationship, because maybe in the moment, I always say, don't go into it transactionally, thinking it's a transaction all the time. How about if you were to just listen, ask questions, and then start nurturing the relationship like dating, right? We don't
Yes.
meet someone, wake up the next day and go down to the chapel and go, we're getting married. We get
Yeah.
to know them over time and then connect them with other people, see how we can do work together. And sometimes it's I've had women that have known me for several years, 5, 6 years, and they've been watching Lead Up for Women for over a year, and then they just joined. And it was the timing was right for them. So we have to remember the timing needs to be right for the person that you're speaking to always. Yeah.
And you can't be selfish or you won't know. And if you use the analogy of dating, and I also sometimes use the analogy of going into the doctor's office. You go into the doctor's office, and that person, usually the doctor asks, what's wrong? And usually they have someone who asks you what's wrong, and then they ask you what's wrong just to solidify that they know your needs. Then they say, you know what, based on your problem, here's a prescription, here's the answer. And then if they cannot answer, they give you a referral to a different doctor. They know that they cannot solve all the needs of the world, so they give you a referral to a different doctor with a specialty that is unique for your needs. So what happens when we as business owners try to meet all the needs of all the people? It's Guys, it's just
It's
not a thing.
impossible.
It's not a thing, right? You need to be specialized and unique, and it's a hard reality,
Hmm.
to accept that. I want to help everyone in the world. And that whole Mother Teresa, just Pulitzer Prize, and remember she was poor. I want to help the world. We have to kind of niche and be specific. And trust me, this is the talk that we have almost every meeting we have, right? Because we have to continue to remind ourselves that there is a specific skill set that we have to change the world.
Yeah. So go back and really stay in your lane. You've got to stay in your lane. Knee doctors aren't solving appendix issues for someone who comes in and says, don't worry, we'll do surgery, even though I've never done surgery on any major organs, just, knees. You'd be like, no, thank you. I don't think you're the person I need to work with. But it's a great analogy, because I think every single person listening today and that will watch this video can relate to that analogy. So for sales, ladies, stay in your lane. Do what it is that you do best. Do not try to become a chameleon for everybody. Do not
Mm.
try to become something you're not to fulfill a person's need, because you'll fail in that area. You know what you're great at, and if that's going to solve this person's issue or problem, and you have resources available for them, great. If you don't, refer them out to someone who does. That's why keeping a network of contacts is really, really great, because we can refer people around, and then that person can then refer them to another person, and then your circle of influence just keeps spreading and getting larger and larger. And I love the way that you put that about the doctor, because it just makes it very clear for all of us to understand. So stay in your lane, ask questions, listen, listen, and contact Jorgie if you have any questions, because she's absolutely the sales guru over there with her strategies and strategic ways that she teaches for you how to do this. And, we need to trust ourselves. Don't you think, Jorgie? We just need to trust ourselves that we know what we know. We know what to do.
You know, you are enough. You are worthy. You are special. You're worth waiting for. All these things I have to affirm every day. To really help my clients, I work with a lot of introverted and ambiverted, more shy people, and they are my breath. I love them because they are geniuses. They have all these special gifts, but they're just a little shy about bringing them out there. And I can give them that gentle nudge to say, you are important. Like, we need your voice in the world and on our teams. Don't, shy back, shine. And even for me, like, I've had to push myself to even connect with that market. I mean, they pay attention to all the details, girl. They are, following every post. If you miss a post, that's when they send you a message like, hold on, you didn't post. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're actually paying attention because you didn't like any of the previous ones, but they're shy. They're not going to like it.
Mm-hmm.
And so understanding your market allows you to connect with them better, but it might challenge you to be a better you. And so when you show up in the world, it's not that you're changing, it's just that you're evolving. And when I have to pay attention to my makeup and pay attention to my hair and what I have on, because usually I'll just kind of be like, hey, I'll roll out of bed and relax. But the people who I serve need me to show up at the best me, at the more detailed me, the part of me that sometimes just doesn't come naturally, but it's in there.
Yeah, that's great. I love the show up part. So, ladies, everything that we're talking about today is helping you and giving you more tools to put in your toolbox for you to be able to utilize to show up, to grow your businesses, to increase your circle of influence, to attract more clients, and to make this easy for you to do business with others, which is stay in your lane, trust yourself, and listen to others. And when you have a solution for them, offer it. Period. It's that easy. It's seriously that easy. And I love the ingredients to making that beautiful cake. So you can have your cake and eat it too, right?
Oh, absolutely. This is your chime. This is the fourth quarter. If I didn't tell you to monetize this fourth quarter, make it amazing. You deserve it. You have a special gift. You deserve to get paid for it. So I'll just look at the back there. It says lead up, level up. This is, that time to really shine and get ready for 2021.
Yeah, I love it, Jorgie. Well, we are going to leave on that note. So thank you everyone for joining us today. And Jorgie's contact information, she will put that down into the comment section so you guys can reach out to her and get into her groups and whatever she has available so you can learn more about how to be strategic in your business development. So thank you, Jorgie, so much for joining us today.
And thank you.
All right, you guys, have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye, everybody.